Welcome, good morning, and welcome to the Make Homes Possible Coalition Masterclass to Build Wealth Through Black Homeownership. We are very impressed and proud that you've decided to join us, and please know that you have taken the first step in a journey towards establishing generational wealth. We are very happy to be able to empower you and educate you along the path. Today, we're going to learn about how you can access up to $25,000 in down payment assistance to assist you with the purchase of your home loan. We also are going to talk about how you can improve your credit, pay down debt, and stack savings to help you on that path. And we're going to talk about some things you need to do in order to find and buy your family a home. But first, a few housekeeping. Focus is key in this, so we like you to silence your cell phones. We are doing the same. Please turn off the TV and focus on the information that we're sharing. Our mission is to help 25,000 Black families here in Nevada purchase a home and close the gap in home ownership. This is a fair housing organization, and we would like to note that the 1968 Fair Housing Act is to assist all residents in assisting with equal housing opportunities regardless of race, creed, and color. These programs are available for all Nevada constituents. They are not just available for Black families, but we do know that the data shows us that we need to assist Black families in this push. I will be your MC. I am Nia Gurma. I am the Nevada Housing Division Homebuyer Program Specialist. I am from Chicago, Illinois, but I have been in the Las Vegas Valley for 17 years working in residential and commercial lending and helping families achieve the dream of home ownership. We'd like to give a special thanks to some of our partners. Homey Nevada has been instrumental in creating and pulling this coalition together of housing counseling agencies, lenders, real estate agents, and down payment assistance programs in order to put everything in a centralized place to help us. We have Nevada Housing Division, we have NAREB, we have NACA, we have NID, Homebuyer Education Counseling, AmeriFirst Financial, as well as many other partners helping us along this path. Thank you, special thank you to Nevada partners as well. With that being said, I would like to introduce you to Commissioner William McCurdy II, our Clark County newest county commissioner for District D. Thank you.
Hello, and thank you so much for being here today. And also, thank you to Homey and Make Homes Possible Masterclass. And this is going to be the first step in making sure that you move the needle for you and your family to create wealth and also to create generational wealth as well. This is incredibly important for our community. We know that the Black home ownership gap is increasing. But through this initiative, we will have an opportunity to provide, as you've already heard, over 25,000 Black families an opportunity to create wealth through home ownership. This is an exciting time. Let's make sure that we get in there, we build our communities, and we buy back our communities as well. Thank you for having me, and I look forward to building wealth in our community.
Thank you so much. Now we will have a welcome from our Congressman Stephen Horsford, Nevada Congressional District 4.
Hello, I'm Congressman Stephen Horsford, representing Nevada's 4th Congressional District, and I know the opportunities our community offers to hardworking people and families. But I also know that discrimination and redlining have made it much harder for Black families to buy homes, build wealth, and live the American dream. I applaud the efforts of the Las Vegas Coalition to Make Homes Possible and their work to help 25,000 Black households buy homes over the next 10 years. And I encourage everyone to visit makehomespossible.org to learn about how the coalition is helping Black families begin their journey to home ownership every day.
So let me briefly introduce some of the counselors we have with us today. I am Jania Gurma. As I mentioned, I am the Nevada Housing Division Homebuyer Program Specialist with Home is Possible. We also have Lisa Foster from AmeriFirst Financial, the Regional Vice President, as well as Shantae Patton, Nevada NID Housing Agency, and Elias Bejaloun from Homey Real Estate. A few things. All applicants must be legal residents of the U.S. to participate in any of our programs. All down payment programs require a home buyer to complete a home buyer education course. All down payment programs require a home buyer to complete pre-purchase and one-on-one counseling. All down payment programs require a client to begin home search only after provided with an appraisal by a housing counselor. And all down payment programs require the home purchased by the buyer to be their primary residence, which they must take occupancy in within 60 days of closing. A few success stories. Shantae Patton bought her first house with $700 down with the help of a Home is Possible and AmeriFirst Financial. Abigail Mowat Hines got $20,000 through Nevada Partners. Abigail is a hardworking, proud single mother of 2 children here in Las Vegas Valley. The Ellis family received $40,000 when selling their current home with Homey, helping them to roll those savings into their dream home. There are hundreds more success stories and families getting help to buy a home, and you can be next. Today, we're learning about how you can access $25,000 in down payment assistance, how you can improve your credit, pay down debt, and stack savings, and what to do in order to find or buy your next family home. We're also going to have a little fun today. We're giving away $20 Amazon gift cards, 2 Fire Sticks, 2 Echo Dots, a 50-inch flat screen TV, and $500 Visa gift card in the giveaway. So it's very important that you pay attention and that you're active and engaged in our class, because you never know what kind of nuggets, besides the wonderful information we're sharing, that we may be able to give to you today. Our first Jeopardy category, Family First. What is Family First for 100, Nia? What is the key to generational wealth? All right. Home ownership. And the winner of our first giveaway is Eric Cole. Congratulations, Eric. Thank you for recognizing what the most important key step to generational wealth is, home ownership, and for that, you win a prize. $20 Amazon gift card. Congratulations. So today's agenda. First, we're going to begin with Mythbusters, getting the right loan, showing us how to get some money, a quick musical break, how to find and buy your home, and what your next steps should be after this class. And then we'll open it up for some Q&A. So without further ado, let's get started. Our next speaker is Miss Lisa Foster with AmeriFirst Financial.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lisa Foster. I'm with AmeriFirst Financial, and I'm going to start by sharing with you some real estate myth busters. Here is the first myth. Renting is cheaper than buying. So how many of you all are out there paying $1,200 to $1,500 in rent monthly? Did you all know that that is a mortgage payment in this market? So the first myth is renting is not cheaper than buying. Paying rent is effectively putting your money in the stove and burning it. It does nothing for you. It simply builds equity for the homeowner who you pay rent to, for the landlord. That is our first myth that we commonly hear when we talk about going out and becoming homeowners. Our second myth, we want to cover a couple of more things. When you look at renting versus owning, you have to think about, what does owning truly mean? Owning truly means that I am free to make whatever changes I want, that I own the home. I don't have to worry about my landlord going up on the rent. My children know where they're coming home to every day, that I have an opportunity to build equity, build wealth. I get the tax write-off for my mortgage, and I know what my monthly payment is each and every month. That community equals stability. And as we go into a market where we are committed to making these African-American families and families in general homeowners, we are looking at actually rebuilding our community. So again, we went over the success story for Shantae Patton. And I just want to reiterate, Shantae purchased her home 3 years ago. And as we said, she bought that home with about $700 down. She had a monthly payment of $1,700. At that time, she was already paying rent of $1,500 a month. The one thing that triggered Shantae into deciding to purchase her home was the fact that she got a notice from her landlord that he was selling the home. And she now had to go find another place for her and her children to live. Today, Shantae currently has $56,000 in equity, plus the tax benefits of home ownership. That is the largest savings nest that many people will ever accumulate. So that myth has been busted. I won't entertain you with that dance because I'm really not that smooth, but that myth has been busted. Our next myth is you need 20% down to buy. I want to make sure you understand that that is a true myth. You can purchase a home with as little as 3% down on a conventional and 3.5% down on an FHA loan. More importantly, all of that money can be gifted as well. So that is all untrue. You do not need 20% down to purchase a home. Again, the minimum amount is 3% on a conventional loan. On an FHA loan, the minimum amount is 3.5%. That myth has been busted. Personal property builds wealth. And I absolutely love the fact that there is a picture of a car. One of the largest challenges that we have as lenders is when you have a $700 Land Rover payment. That personal property was worth less the minute you drove it off the lot. It doesn't get more valuable, it gets less valuable. So personal property, rims, all those great things, your Jordans or whatever the newest style shoes are out, all of those things do not bring you wealth. If you were to sell them today, you'd have to sell them for less than what you paid. So you're actually going in the wrong direction. And I always like to say, having a great car is a great thing, but you can't take a shower, a bath, or eat in that car. But you can in your home. Personal property does not help you stack wealth. Home equity is what will get you to where we need you to be. Stack your savings to build wealth. We're going to get help, and we're going to get you there faster. The slides are out of order. So get down payment assistance. Down payment assistance is available through multiple avenues. Home is Possible for teachers, Home is Possible for heroes, Nevada Partners and the Culinary Union, Neighborhood Housing Services of Southern Nevada, and the Chinoa Fund. Haven't owned in this is the next myth, myth 4. I am not a first-time home buyer. Whether you have owned a home in the past, whether you owned a home before the market burst, as long as you have not owned a home in the last 3 years, per HUD, you are a first-time home buyer. And a couple of these programs, you just don't have to own a home at the time that you close. So housing is a right. You should be able to have safe, sound, and secure housing. You are a first-time home buyer if you have not had home ownership in the last 3 years. So myth 4 has been busted. Myth 5, I can't buy due to foreclosure, bankruptcy, or short sale. You know, when the market took a turn, many of our families and minority families were impacted due to predatory lending. And a lot of times we often feel as though we cannot buy a home because we lost a home several years ago. That is not true. If you've had a short sale or foreclosure, the 3 is the magic number. Depending on the program, if you've had a bankruptcy, you can purchase within 2 years of that bankruptcy being discharged. So just know that if you've lost a home in the past, 3 years from the date of the loss, that is your magic number for you to become a homeowner. So myth 5 has been busted. Next, we're going to go into getting into the right loan. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking to you about how to get into the right loan and understanding what that process looks like. Number one, to get into the right loan, one of the first things you have to do is avoid predatory lending. Make sure you understand what the loan is costing you overall. Even though someone may tell you that the interest rate is only 4%, it makes a difference if the interest rate is 4%, but market is at 2.75. You have a responsibility to actually educate yourself and make sure you're getting the best deal. Never be afraid to ask a question. Your lender is on your team and they work for you. So you want to make sure that you're able to ask questions and you're comfortable in getting your answers and you understand them. We're going to cover factors affecting your loan application. What are the things that lenders actually look at when you make an application? And then we're going to talk about setting income and credit straight. So avoid predatory lending. So you want to be aware when you're applying for a loan of quick dollar and payday loans. One of the things that impacts you when we talk about qualifying a loan is the type of financing you're out there getting. You know, we're looking at, are you using a bank versus payday loans? Are you using Wells Fargo or Bank of America or a large major bank versus, you know, Dollar One Center? Everything has a purpose, and I'm not trying to skew any of those organizations, but you want to make sure you understand the total cost of your loan. You also want to make sure that you're aware of subprime lending. What are the terms of your loan? Is your loan going to be the same payment every month for 30 years, or will you look up one day and the payment has doubled? You want to make sure that you understand what the terms are of your loan, that the loan will be fixed, or whatever the payment will be. You know, we had a staggering loss, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, for Black wealth due to the subprime scandal that happened after the market burst. So we want to make sure that as we go on this endeavor to create a mass of African-American homeowners, that we do not recreate the scenario we have already been in. So when we talk about getting the right loan, we want to talk about those factors that affect your loan application. What are the things that really matter when you come to a lender and you apply for a loan? First thing is income. And I'm going to throw a myth buster here. I don't think we did it in the future. Sometimes people tell you that in order to use your income, you have to be sitting in the same seat for 2 years. And I want to make sure that you're clear that that is not true. We are looking for you to have 2 years of reportable, verifiable income, where we can predict the consistency of the income. Remember, when you apply for a mortgage, you are asking a mortgage company to trust that you're going to make one payment per month for 30 years. We want to make sure that your income is stable, and the likelihood is great that you will be able to make those payments. We want to make sure that your debt is under control, that you've paid on time, and you typically don't exceed a debt-to-income ratio of around 40. Now, there are programs that go higher than that. But what we want to make sure is that you understand what you have to pay, and you're able to pay it every month comfortably on time. Everyone in life at some point in time has hit a hiccup. The question is, once you fell behind or you had a late payment, did you catch it up and did you make good? Did you make good on what you said you would pay back when you opened that account? The credit. Many of the programs have a minimum FICO score, but most lenders for an FHA loan are looking for a minimum of 580 as a credit score. And again, we use your middle FICO, not your high, not your low. We use the middle of 3 major FICO scores to determine what will dictate the terms of your loan. So get one-on-one help. So I'm going to stop at this time. Nia's going to come back and join us, and we're going to play some more Jeopardy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Really quick, I know that we have lots of partners working in this coalition, and we are here to advance our people and help you along the path. So we don't really do a lot of advertising, but I didn't really toot Lisa's horn the way she needed, because she is extremely humble, but she is a miracle worker in this industry, and she gives it to you straight. So if you're not ready, if you are not ready to be a home buyer and you are a home hopeful, you want to make sure that you have someone in the industry working for you like Lisa, who is going to tell you exactly what you need to get to where you want to be. Thanks again, Lisa. So our next Jeopardy, are we ready? What is FHA loan minimum credit score? If you were paying attention, you know this one. Let's get the Jeopardy music going. 580. What is 580? The winner is Dennis Jones. Congratulations, Dennis, for knowing that information and paying attention to what Lisa was saying. You have won a Fire Stick. Congratulations. After Corona, we're all coming over to watch some movies with you. Okay, Lisa is actually going to come back and join us and talk a little bit more about getting the right loan and making sure you have a loan that is working for you to your benefit and not to your detriment. So once again, thank you for being active and engaged and paying attention. I'm going to give it over to Lisa.
Hello, everybody, and I'm back. So let's talk about getting the right loan. So we covered some of these already. We're going to talk now about setting income and credit straight. We talked a little bit about that 2-year work history and how it doesn't have to be in the same industry or in the exact same job. We as lenders don't penalize you for improving your situation. What we're looking for is some degree of consistency where we can actually make sense of your job history. You can't qualify with unemployment unless you've received the unemployment consistently. If through the pandemic you had unemployment, unfortunately we are not able to use that to qualify you to purchase a home today. You know, your family savings comes first. You want to set aside X of your income, your net income savings. And let me tell you why that X is there. Everybody has the ability to save a different amount. On average, we want you to save 10 to 15% of your gross income for your savings. But as a working person, you may not be able to do that. Your family budget may not allow that. So what we want you to do is put together a budget and figure out what you can save. And most importantly, save that amount consistently. We're looking for you to consistently be able to do that. If you are consistently saving into your account, into a savings account, the amount will roll up and it'll all balance out because you've created the habit of saving. Now, we're going to have more on our credit on our next game round. Nia's going to come back and she's going to go over our next Jeopardy.
All right, I like these games. Okay, Jeopardy. We're going to take family first for 200. Are you ready? Are you engaged? Let's go. What family first savings account? What is set aside 10% of income before anything else? Ding, ding, ding. Awesome. Thank you, Lori Stevens, for having the winning question for this Jeopardy round. That's correct. You want to set aside 10% of income before anything else. Pay yourself first. You have won a $20 Amazon gift card. Congratulations, Lori. And we are going to have Lisa come back in and talk to you about the things that we all want to know about. Credit.
So let's talk about what is credit. Credit is the ability to borrow money or obtain goods by paying little or no money at the time of purchase. It also is your promise to pay the original cost later, plus time and interest. Credit costs you money. The cost of credit is how much you actually pay back, based on how long it takes you to pay back. So credit is not free. It can, depending on the terms of the credit, be expensive. What is your credit report? You all, this is where we need to talk about Credit Karma. Credit Karma is not your credit report. It's a great tool for you to get an idea on what's on your credit report, but it is not your credit report. Your credit report comes from 3 major credit bureaus. Those 3 major credit bureaus report your loans, your credit card debt, your payments, your outstanding debts, when your credit was open, how much you borrowed, how much you're using, and your history as long as that account has been open. Your 3 major credit bureaus are going to be Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Those are your true credit reports. Credit Karma That's not a true credit report. So while Credit Karma may show that you have a 750 Credit Karma score, that does not equate to a 750 score on Equifax, TransUnion, or Experian. So I want to make sure that you're aware of that. I love that people care about their credit. However, I can't work with Credit Karma. I've got to be able to pull it from one of these 3 major bureaus. What is on your credit? Well, it's all the things that I've talked about. Your current and past information, your on-time, your late payments, your outstanding credit limits and balances, information from public records, and names of companies who have asked for a copy of your credit report, which are called credit inquiries. These are all of the items that are on your credit report, along with previous addresses that you've used, any other social security numbers that have been associated with your name. All of this information is contained within your credit report. So just to give you a little, a little hint on things that are on your credit report that you may not know. A bankruptcy remains on your credit report for 7 to 10 years, depending on the type of bankruptcy. Court judgments can also be on your credit report. Past due child support can appear on your credit report. And property liens can sometimes appear on your credit report, depending on how your property, the debt that created the lien. So we are going to have another Jeopardy. Ms. Nia, come on up. Ms. Nia is the new Jeopardy girl.
Homebuyer program specialist by day and game show hostess on the weekend. How about it? So for our next category, we're going to go to the right loan for $200. The right loan for $200. I don't know if you've noticed yet, but Miss Lisa has dropped a lot of gems. So if you're paying attention, you're ready to win some prizes. This is something that factors affecting your loan application. Factors affecting your loan application. Oh, wow, I love it, I love it. I don't know if you've really been paying attention or if you're trying to get these prizes, but anyway, I'm excited about how active and engaged you are, and I'm excited about our next steps. All right, Rhonda Corbin had the right answer. Congratulations. And it is income, debt, and credit. What is income, debt, and credit? Factors that affect your credit report. You have won a $20 Amazon gift card. Congratulations. As I mentioned, I am extremely excited and fired up about how much information that we've been able to pass on so far, and there's more to come, so buckle up. Ms. Lisa's gonna come back and talk to us a little bit about good credit versus bad credit, because we all know we need credit, and you should all know by now Ms. Lisa gives it to us straight, so.
So a few minutes ago, I talked about the different types of credit. Now I want to talk a little bit about good credit versus bad credit from our perspective. Good credit is credit that you use to purchase your home, a loan to buy a home, funds, a long-term ongoing investment. Bad credit, we want to encourage you, is things that are disposable. Things that you won't have forever, don't permanently improve your home, or things that go down in value. Bad credit can be used for things like cars. It's not saying that we don't want you to have a nice car, but we want you to have the house, then the car. Borrowing money for personal property is not necessarily the best use of your credit. So I want to talk to you about how to get your free credit report. This is important. You want to start this journey to home ownership? Start by actually getting a copy of your free credit report. You are entitled to 1 free copy per year, and you visit www.annualcreditreport.com. And if you have a moment, take a picture of the screen. You can put it in the chat that you want this additional information. You will need to provide your full name, Social Security, addresses for the past 5 years, telephone number, and birth date. And they will actually email you a copy of all 3 major credit reports. You can get 1 copy per year. It is free. The 1 copy is free. You can also get a copy if you're a victim of fraud, if you've been denied credit, been denied employment or insurance in the past 60 days. If you are not in one of these circumstances where you've already gotten a copy, you haven't been denied any services, the cost can be anywhere from $15 to $80 to obtain that credit report. So now you've got the report. What is it that we want you to do? We want you to fix it. As Nia has already said to you all, I am 100% from Chicago, Miss Nia. So I don't have the necessary skill set to give things to you softly. If it belongs to you, you did it, then you need to fix it. I appreciate that there are people out here telling you that you don't have to pay what a debt you legitimately made. But if you're asking someone to trust you, then you got to be trustworthy. When you get your report, you want to go over it, you want to check it carefully. You want to look for accounts that may not be yours. You want to verify all credit and limits and balances. You want to make sure accounts that you closed actually say closed at consumer's request. Remember, your credit report will list every company you have borrowed from in the past 7 to 10 years. So it's important that you're looking at it and you're making sure that the information is accurate. Nia's going to come on back and she's going to show you the money.
Show you the money. Credit. What is credit? Don't all answer at once. I know you saw the answer already. Kim Fox knows what is the ability to borrow money or obtain goods by paying little or no money at the time of purchase. That is credit. Congratulations, Kim. You have won a $20 Amazon gift card. Best prize you ever won, quickest and easiest. Okay, so once again, Miss Lisa's gonna come back and talk to us a little bit more about credit, because as we know, this is a lot of information and something we really want to work on and be prepared for on our home ownership journey. Here you go, Miss Lisa.
All right, guys. Please tell me you're not tired of seeing me yet. I got a whole lot to say. I told you I'm from the Midwest. So, why is credit denied? I want to throw out a little tidbit that people may not know. It is easier for you to purchase a house than it often is for you to finance a car or get a credit card. Why is that? Because if you can move my house, you're really doing something. But a car and a credit card, you can go anywhere in the world and maybe never repay. So when we talk about why is credit denied, sometimes it's because you have too much outstanding debt. Sometimes your credit hasn't been handled responsibly in the past. And when I talk about the past, I want to make sure that I'm clear. We understand as lenders that there has been a period where you may have had an issue, you may have been unemployed, may have been ill, may have had a death in your family, you may have had some life trauma. When we talk about mortgages, we're honestly talking about what have you done in the past 12 to 24 months? We explained what was previously done, but we really want to focus on your behavior as far as your credit is concerned in the past 12 to 24 months. Sometimes it's because you're a victim of fraud, and you're a victim of fraud, but you have not gone back and gotten and addressed those accounts that were fraudulently opened in your name. And we cannot distinguish between what is really yours and what might have been opened by the fraudster. How do you build credit? You pay your bills on time. You know, you set up text alerts for payment dates. I had to explain this to my niece. It is not the company's responsibility to remind you when your payment is due. It's your responsibility. Set up a text alert for the payment. If the payment doesn't fall within your due dates, request a new date so that it matches when you receive your income. Another great way to build credit is pay more than the minimum amount due. Get a history of paying extra, paying it down faster, and thereby saving you money on the interest you're being charged. Keep your debts at no more than 10 to 30% of your net income. What does that mean? That means if you have a credit card for $1,000, your balance on that credit card should not be $999.99. What that says to lenders is that you actually need that credit card to live as opposed to, utilizing it and then paying it off. We're really looking for, if you have a balance of $1,000, we really want that if you have a limit of $1,000, we really want that balance to be about $300, anywhere between $100 and $300. You always want to pay more than the minimum is due, and you want to pay cash for purchases that are under $20. So you have certain rights. Those rights are to have an accurate credit report, to have your mistakes corrected, to see what is actually contained in your credit report. You have an opportunity to tell your side of the story, and you also have the right to know who has actually requested and viewed your credit report. These are the rights that you have as a consumer. We're going to talk a little bit about filing disputes, because you also can do that when you have your, when you request your report from annualcreditreport.com, your free report that you can get once a year. You're going to fill out the form, letter, and close with the Bureau report, and you're going to return it back to the Bureau. The Bureau has 30 days, 30 to 45 days to get you a response. After hearing from the Bureau, if you disagree with the response, you can add up to a 100-word statement. Now, I do want to let you know that if you're filing a dispute on a debt that really is yours, and the company does respond, that debt is not going to be moved just because you went through this process. So you really want to look and take the energy to file the report on the debts that you don't recognize, you didn't open, that aren't yours. Now we're going to talk a little bit about what are your next steps. Your next steps are to get one-on-one counseling. Enroll at Make Home Possible /intake. This is where you can sign up to meet with a counselor who can walk you through this process, get you mortgage ready, and connect you with nonprofits that can help you get your down payment assistance and into your home. And Nia's going to come on back with some more Jeopardy.
Thanks for having me back. We are going to try Show Me the Money for 100. Who is ready to answer a Show Me the Money question? Here we go. This is the first step to buy a home. The first step to buy a home. Uh-oh, looks like we have a few answers coming in. You're all masterclass scholars now. But we have one valedictorian, Charlotte Brooks. Get pre-approved. The first step to owning a home is getting a pre-approval. Congratulations, Charlotte. You have won a $20 Amazon gift card. Next, we're going to have, uh-oh. Well, let's just enjoy the Queen as the Michelle Obama really quick. How's everybody feeling? I hope you're feeling empowered and educated, because we have a lot more to go. Are we going to do another Jeopardy? Another round? All right, here we go. The right loan for 300. The right loan for 300. Mortgage. The answer for this one is mortgage. Chanel Lana. Principal and interest for your home purchasing loan. A mortgage is the principal and interest for your home purchasing loan. Shauna, you have won an Echo Dot. That's exciting. It's a nice little change up. All right. Okay. So next on our agenda, we are going to have Show Me the Money. And as much as I would love to sit here and show you the money, I am actually going to introduce a dynamic young lady who is going to go through this with us. Shantae Patton, one of our counseling agents today. Shantae Patton.
Hello, hello. So I got the best part. Me the money. So my name is Shantae Patton. I am a real estate agent of 17 years and also agency from my counseling agency, NID Housing. We get the best part, which is show me the money. This is how we get to work, okay? Which I love, show me the money, okay, good. Sorry about that. All right, so first we'll go over show me the money, and then we'll talk about the HUD-approved counseling agencies. So the first one is possible, which is through the state. Home is possible for teachers, and home is possible for our heroes. We also have Nevada Partners, and we have NHSSN, which is the Neighborhood Housing Services of Southern Nevada, as well as the Chinoa Fund. So these are all of the state programs that you can use for down payment assistance. So the first one is Home is Possible, and this is Nia's department. You can get up to $20,000 with Home is Possible. You can use it for down payment assistance and closing costs. This is really important because in addition to whatever your down payment assistance is, you still have to pay closing costs, and that can be in upwards of about 3% of the price. So it's important that you have the funds for that as well. And it has a 30-year interest rate that's very attractive. You do not need to be a first-time home buyer. So remember, we talked about first-time home buyers being anyone who hasn't owned in the last 3 years. That's requirements, okay? And the financing is also available for manufactured homes, so it doesn't. Okay, so just in case, let me go back over again. We're going to go down to the Show Me the Money. We're going to talk about our down payment assistance programs and our HUD-approved counseling agencies. We want to make sure you get this because if you're like me, I came for this part. All right, so we have our Home is Possible through the state. That's our lovely Miss Nia. And so we have Home is Possible for our teachers, Home is Possible for our heroes, Nevada Partners, which also handles Culinary, the Neighborhood Housing Services of Southern Nevada, or NHSSN, and the Chinoa Fund. So first, the HIP program, which is our Home is Possible. You can get up to $20,000 with this program. You can use it for down payment assistance as well as closing costs. This is important because in addition to your down payment assistance, there are costs to purchase the property. And that cost can be up to 3% of the sales price. So if you already need some assistance with down payment, this program is great because you'll be able to get the assistance for closing costs too. Especially in this market that's a very strong seller's market, it's not as easy to ask the seller to contribute towards your closing cost. So this program definitely makes the difference for that. It also has a really attractive 30-year interest rate too. Now with this one, as Lisa said, if you haven't owned a home in the last 3 years, then you are considered a first-time home buyer again. But if you have, then this program is great for you because you do not need to be a first-time home buyer to get this program, okay? And also, if you want to purchase a manufactured home instead of a single-family home, you have the ability to do that with this program, and it's statewide. So whether if you're down here in Southern Nevada or you're up in Reno or Sparks area, you can still use this program. Okay, so here are some of the requirements. You may not own a property at the time of closing. So even if you own, as long as you get it sold and you do not own 2 homes when you close, you're still able to use this program, which is really good. You can also use it with FHA, USDA, VA loans. Your income must be under $98,500. The home price just needs to be under $548,250. Luckily, we are not in California, so you can still get a home for $548,000. And a minimum credit score of 640. And what I will say is even if you're maybe at 615 right now, don't exclude yourself from the process. I know that lenders, especially Lisa, they have ways to guide you through so that you can get your credit score up. Okay, you have to take home buyers education. We want to make sure that you are educated on the process and you know how to keep your home. We do not want to put you in a home for you to lose it later on. We did that before. We're not trying to do that again, okay? So you must meet the standard underwriting requirements, and there is a one-time fee of $755. And again, it's not up front. You just pay it at closing. It's a part of your closing cost, okay? Now, we have our Home is Possible for teachers. You know, we really did not know that when you told us our kids were not behaving in school, we didn't believe you. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity that you guys have given us to homeschool our own children. And we now understand, and we're sorry, okay? We understand exactly what you were saying, and we're sorry. Please take the kids back. Okay, so, but one of the things that we get to do to say thank you is the Home is Possible for teachers benefits. So you get $7,500 in bonus money. You can use it again for down payment assistance and closing costs, which we know is very important in a seller's market. And it's forgivable after 5 years. So if you stay in your home for 5 years, you do not need to pay the money back. And that's just a little bit of how the state says thank you to our amazing teachers, okay? So it's a below market fixed interest rate for 30 years. So that's amazing, below market. We love free money or almost free money. Okay, it's a statewide program. So again, if you're up in Reno, Sparks area, you can get this program as well. And there is no first-time home buyer requirement. So Even if you purchased a home and you have it for sale right now, you can sell that one and still be able to purchase this one with your down payment assistance option. Okay. The other thing is you must be licensed full-time in K through 12 public school in Nevada. Your income just needs to be below $98,500. Unfortunately for teachers, we know you qualify for this. And then home prices under $548,250. You can use VA or USDA as well. And the minimum credit score is 640. But remember, if you're 615, 600, don't be discouraged. There's ways for us to give you that bump that you need so that you can qualify. Okay, so you must live in a home as your primary home. You cannot use this program and buy an investment property. You do need to be educated. We want to make sure you know how to stay in your home. You must meet the standard underwriting requirements, and there's still the one-time fee of $755 paid at closing, so it's not an upfront fee. Now, for our heroes that we appreciate so much, you have 0 down, below market fixed interest rate, which again, below market we love. You have a reduced monthly mortgage payment. You do not need to be a first-time home buyer. This is actually really good because if you have been stationed somewhere else where you owned and you now have been here, you've moved here, you don't have to worry about it. You do not need to be a first-time home buyer. And it's also statewide, so our northern families, you can work with this program as well. And again, just need to make under $98,500. Unfortunately, our veterans and our soldiers fall under this category. And then as long as the price is under $548,250, you can still qualify for this VA or USDA loans only, and a minimum credit score of 640. You must live in the home as your primary residence. You cannot use this program to purchase an investment property. You do need to have your education as well as meet the minimum underwriting requirements. And again, the one-time $755 fee, but you do not have to pay it up front. Okay, and here's a great testimonial. I was renting and didn't think I could qualify to buy a home I would want to live in. Because of the Home is Possible for Heroes, interest rate was ridiculously low. I was able to buy more home. My realtor and lender pretty much took care of everything. Psychologically, it's nice to know people have your back with a program like this. And as a single mother, I couldn't have bought a home without it. So we are so grateful for our veteran that we were able to put her in the home, and we can do the same for you. Okay, I'm going to bring Nia over so she can show us the money and you can win something amazing. Come on up, Nia.
Thank you, Shantae. I just want to say that she did an excellent job presenting my program, and even more if you realize that she learned all about the program like one text at a time, asking all of the questions and asking me about every guideline and every specificity. And it's really good to not only have a lender, but a realtor who is aware of the down payment assistance and programs that are available and are actually working in your best interest. So thanks again, Shantae. So our next slide is going to be Show Me the Money for 400. Home is possible. Home is possible. Okay, let's get your questions in the chat. Program that is very near and dear to my heart. While we wait to find out who our winner for this one is, I'm also going to add that some really great information Shantae just provided us about the program, and I wanted nothing in government is permanent but change. So we've had some good changes over the weekend. Starting tomorrow, our program actually goes up to $105,000 for income limits. So all borrowers on the loan application, as long as your income is $105,000 or less. And then also that teachers program is going to go to June 30th. So we are offering that teachers program and extending the availability of it. So nothing but good changes coming our way. All right. Do we have a winner? Karen Hill. Oh, Taryn Hill, congratulations. She knew that Home is Possible provides what is up to $20,000 in down payment assistance for Nevada residents. Yes, and then also I'm going to add a quick caveat to that for Nevada residents. We're not checking for driver's licenses or any sort of seasoning on how long you have to be a Nevada resident. If you are moving here and you qualify for financing to purchase a home here in Nevada, then you would qualify for the down payment assistance program. So thank you so much, and I am going to pass it back to Ms. Shantae.
All right, now let's talk about the WISH program. WISH is available through Nevada Partners, which we are using their beautiful building right now, as well as Neighborhood Housing Services of Southern Nevada, and who's that? We'll see in a second. Oh, Community Services of Nevada. Wonderful. Okay, so with WISH, you can get up to $22,000. You must be pre-approved by an approved lender. So not every lender is approved to do this program. So you need to make sure that whichever lender you get approved with, they are also approved to use this program. Okay, you just need to contribute $1,500 through closing. So you contribute $1,500 and they've got your back for $22,000, up to $22,000. There is a deed restriction, so there is a 5-year guideline ratio, 35-43%, okay? And now, household income, 80% of the area median income or less. So when you get with your loan officer, they will let you know what the current, or the down payment assistance company will let you know what the current AMI is for the area. And then whatever that number is at that time, you'll just need to be 80% or less of that. This is a first-time home buyer program, so you're not going to be able to own, sell, and then purchase this one. But as long as you have not owned a home in the last 3 years, you can purchase and use these funds for that. You must be a resident in Clark County for at least 6 months. So that's the difference between the state program, where there is no seasoning of the time that you need to live here. With the WISH program, you do need to be here at least for 6 months. And then the maximum home buyer contribution of $4,000. So with this program, the max you will need to contribute is $4,000. Now we have the Culinary Housing Partnership, and that is handled here at Nevada Partners, and it's a part of the Culinary Worker Union Local 226. So with this one, if you are getting an FHA loan, then you can get up to $10,000. If you are using a conventional loan, you can get up to $20,000, but you must be a Culinary Union employee and you have to have a participating property. You need to have worked 2,000 hours within the last 3 years, and there is a first-time home buyer requirement, so you cannot currently own a home and then purchase another one with this program. But if it's been at least 3 years, you're good to go. And then there's the Chinoa Fund. So with Chinoa, it's FHA loans only. You get up to 3.5% as a grant, and it's put onto the property as a second loan. Okay, so you have your regular loan for your property that you get, and then the 3.5% grant is then put on as a second loan. Okay, the minimum credit score on this one's even better, 620. So even if you're a 580, you're very close, so don't be discouraged. Okay, then there's the income limits for the grant to apply, so you need to make sure that you're within the correct income limit. So when you get with your housing counselor, they'll be able to run the numbers for you and let you know whether or not you qualify for WISH. And then there's no income limit for the repayable second. Okay, and that's the Chinoa Fund. Chinoa Fund is handled by AmeriFirst Financial, which is Lisa Foster, and you got to meet her a bit earlier. And then there's the NACA's Best in America Mortgage. So that's one mortgage product. There's no down payment or closing costs or fees. They also have a below market fixed rate with an option to buy it down to almost zero. So that's like almost free money, right? We like free, or free 99. So you have perfect credit, high income, or savings are not required. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have a perfect history on your credit. You don't have to make the most money possible or have the most money stacked in your bank account. Not everyone qualifies for that. With NACA, that is not a requirement either. So the member or anyone in the household cannot own another property. You cannot use NACA for an investment. Okay? You must occupy the home as long as you have the mortgage that was attained through NACA. Okay, so you can't purchase it and then 6 months later or a year later you decide I want a bigger house, but I'm going to keep this one and rent it out. You cannot do that with this NACA program. And then the members must adhere to the NACA's policies and the procedures. So I will bring up Nia once more to show us the money, and then we will get right back to you.
Thank you, Shantae. So show me the money. A bad credit investment. A bad credit investment. Now you've heard this. We've been mentioning it and hammering it in. So let's get those questions going. Janice Williams is the winner. She knew that getting a $30,000 loan to buy a car is a bad investment. What is a bad investment? Getting a $30,000 loan to buy a car. We cannot stress enough. You will hear from every counselor here that house, then car. So you have won a $20 Amazon gift card. Thank you so much for participating and for knowing the right answer there. We're going to get Shantae right back up here. Thank you.
Okay, so we want to talk about our HUD-approved counseling agencies, and you can also find this on our website, makehomes.possible.org/resources. So our HUD-approved counseling agencies are Nevada partners. Remember, they also handle the Culinary, and that's this beautiful building here. NID Housing Counseling Agency, that's my housing counseling agency. There's also Neighborhood Housing Services of Southern Nevada, NHSSN, NACA, and Community Services of Nevada. So these are just some of the programs that you can use. We also have our State of Nevada, which is NIA, and you can get her Home is Possible regular heroes and teachers there, okay? Do not forget to enroll in your one-on-one housing counseling, okay? This is your next step. So you're going to go to Make Homes Possible. Today. This doesn't need to be a today plan. This might be a 5-year plan, a 3-year plan, maybe you're 6 months away. Either way, we are here and committed to holding your hand through the process. We do not care how long that takes. If you're motivated to do it, we're 100% ready for you. So you will get one-on-one housing counseling. Just go on there, complete the intake form, and someone will get in contact with you. Okay, so enroll at makehomes.possible.org/intake. Schedule your one-on-one counseling calls. They will start March 8th. March 8th. You are also invited to our 8-week Homebuyer series. So this was just kind of a really light overview of the process, but we do get down and into the details. Okay, so that starts Saturday, March 13th, and you can also sign up for that on makehomes.possible.org. Some of the best parts of that is our first credit building series. It's important that we walk you through the credit. And some of the things we'll do is you can bring your credit report, and we will start showing you how to read your credit. What is typical, what's not, what are all these symbols and what do they mean? So we will go through that. We want to make sure that you can advocate for yourself. We do not want other companies coming and exploiting that they can do something that you can be taught to do. So we have our credit building part 1 and then our credit building part 2. Then once we get you towards past that part and then to the loan part, then we can really start talking about other things that affect our community, including student loans. So student loans will be a big conversation in the second part of credit building. Then we will have our finding a home process. We will take you through the beginnings to the end. Home warranty, title insurance, escrow, how to make offers, especially in a seller's market. So we'll be going over all those details. We're not going to just leave you here. We plan to take you through the process. And then preserving your home. The reason why that is so important, because one of the biggest ways for us to lose wealth in a Black community is because we do not preserve the home. It's like buying the best car ever and never putting insurance on it. And that's what we typically do. We buy the home, we celebrate, but we forgot to preserve it and to safeguard it so that we can pass it on to our children and create this wealth that we want to create through it. Some of the biggest issues, you'll see the houses on the west side, and the grandma will own it. Grandma passes away, no will. It has to go through probate, and it becomes a big issue, and we lose houses like that. We do not want that to happen to our community any longer. So we need to be able to show you how to get in a house, but we need you to keep the house too. Okay, so we will be talking about that as well. Here are some of the certified home buyer classes that you can take. There's Credit Smart Home Buyer U. That's a free certification class through Freddie Mac. It's really great, very easy, and it is a requirement for the Home is Possible program. So you want to make sure you get that done. And then there's eHome America. It's a $99 certification program, and it fulfills the other required programs that require you to do education ahead of time. Okay, so those are two of the programs that you can go to, but we want you to see the counselor first. Figure out which program works for you, and then we can figure out which home buyer education class you need to take. Also on Credit Builders, we give you a loan and deposit the funds in the SCE FCU savings account in your name, and it earns dividends. Then you can make on-time monthly payments based on simple terms everyone can agree upon, okay? And then as you repay, the company reports your good payment history to the credit bureau, which helps you build your credit. This is really good if you just don't have any, or all the credit you have is delinquent or has had some sort of late payment on it. Maybe you had a repossession and that's the only thing showing on your credit, then you need some assistance building some additional credit so that you can kind of get back to where you need to be. This is a program for you. And then as you make payments, the funds are made available to you, or you can leave the money in the savings for whatever you choose. We would suggest you leave the money in the savings because we talked about your family first and building your savings account. This is a great way to be able to build the savings account and build the credit at the same time. So it's a win-win. I will bring Nia back on, and she's going to go over the next Jeopardy question. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for sticking in here with us. I think that if you haven't noticed, everyone here who is participating today is extremely passionate about helping our community bridge the wealth gap through home ownership. So we're hoping that you are going to stick along and be along for the ride. Make sure you take those next steps. Make sure you're ordering that free credit report. Make sure that you are engaged and signing up for the next master class that's beginning March 8th. Because as Shantae mentioned, this is a high-level overview, but we want to really hold your hand and walk you through this process. So family first for 400, who thinks they are ready? Why do you want to buy a home? Why do you want to buy a home? Hint, hint, don't tell us your personal reasons. Tell us the reasons we just gave you. Crystal Brooks. Crystal Brooks had the right answer, which is, what is family? Generational wealth and stability. You want to buy a home to help your family. You want to establish generational wealth, and you want to have the stability of a consistent and stable home. So congratulations. You have won an Echo Dot. I don't know why I get so excited about the dots. Yay! Okay, so we are going to keep moving here and talk about getting one-on-one counseling. We're going to have Shantae come up and sort of talk a little bit about the one-on-one counseling. Oh, no, we're going to have another Jeopardy. All right. Okay, so the right loan for 400. The right loan for 400. Who thinks they know the answer to this one? It is, what is tactics? Tactics for building credit. Tactics for building credit. We talked a lot about this and what's good credit versus bad credit and how you can build that credit and keep it going so that it works for you. Let's see your answers. Christine Walker. Oh, Christine Walker, pay your bills on time. Keep your debt below 30% of your income and pay your debt down faster. Christine Walker knew all of those answers, and because of that, she wins a $20 Amazon gift card. Congratulations, Christine. We're going to keep rocking and rolling and moving through here. We have a lot of information to share with you, and I know we don't want to take up your whole Saturday. So the next thing we are going to have is a musical break. We are going to have some music by Cameron Calloway. This is a moment for you to stretch your legs. We appreciate you being focused and engaged, but now we're going to have Cameron to play some music. We all know we're going to do a happy dance when we get into our house, so why don't you practice your routine now and figure out what kind of grooving you're going to do with your family once you purchase your home. Have a little break. We have lots more games. We have lots more information to share with you. Please stay tuned with us and enjoy Cameron.
Sounds funny, but just can't stand the pain. Girl, I'm leaving you tomorrow. It seems to me, girl, you know I've done all I can. You see, I begged, stole, and I borrowed. That's why I'm easy. Oh, easy like Sunday morning. Yeah, baby. Easy. Oh, no. I'm easy like Sunday morning. Modern world, but anybody could change on me. Well, I paid my dues to make it, yeah, babe. Everybody wants me to be where they want me to be. I'm not happy when I try to fake it. Woo. That's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning. 'Cause I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning. I wanna be high, so high now. I wanna be free to know the things I do alright. Ooh, free, just me, yeah. Oh. 'Cause I'm easy. like Sunday morning. 'Cause I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning. Yeah. 'Cause I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning. Ooh, 'cause I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning. I'm easy like Sunday morning. I'm easy like Sunday morning. Or easy like Sunday morning. Sunday morning, yeah. Reaching out across the morning, the city rings a sleepless high. Hear her noise say, shake my window, sweet seducing sight. Get me out into the nighttime. Walls on home beating high. And if this town is just an airport, then let me take a bite. And if they say why, yeah, tell them that it's human nature. Why does it hit me that way? And if they say why, yeah, tell them that it's human nature. Why does it hit me that way? Reaching out, touch a stranger, electric eyes are everywhere. See that girl, she knows I'm watching. She likes the way I stare. And if they say why, Tell them that it's human nature, right? Does it mean that way? And if they say why? Tell them that it's human nature, right? Does it mean that way? I like loving this way. Ooh, 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 yeah. Reaching out, touch a stranger, electric eyes are everywhere. See that girl, she knows I'm watching. She likes the way I stare. Right, yeah. Tell them that it's human nature, right? Does it do me that way? If they say why, yeah. Tell them that it's human nature, right? Does it do me that way? I love it this way.
Cool.
What should I say?
You can address them.
I'm from out here.
Okay, please always sit down.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Here in Las Vegas, and I play music all around the city, and it's always great to be a part of events or just gatherings where we can spread some information that'll help us out long term. And yeah, you can check out my music at CameronCalloway.com.
All right, so thank you, Cameron. I think that you are getting ready to be booked and busy. He had a beautiful voice and extremely talented. Make sure you check out his website. I'm sure he has his booking information there. That was a very nice musical interlude. So we're going to keep going right along on our agenda. We're going to get into how to find and buy your home. How to find and buy your home. As you can imagine, this is not something that I, Nia Girma from the Housing Division, is an expert on. This is something that we want to leave in the hands of our very talented real estate professionals. So up next, I am going to introduce Elias Benjaloun. There is so many things that I could say about Elias. He is extremely humble, but this was a huge part of just his vision and helping to bring all of these organizations together. We've all known each other through the industry and worked together a little bit here and there, some more than others, but it was really the dream of Homie and specifically Elias to just be persistent and hitting up all of our LinkedIns and making sure that we were all willing to work together. So I am going to bring him up now. Thank you, Elias.
Thank you so much, Nia. Thank you. Okay, and thank you everybody for joining us today. Huge thank you to Lisa and Shantae, and Cameron Calloway's performance was amazing. Oh man, that was awesome. First off, I just want to say a huge thank you to our sponsor, Homey, the company that I work for. Homey's mission is to increase accessibility and access and affordability for homeownership for all. And that's why we're so proud to stand by these leaders today to put a poll in the ground and say that we need to close the black homeownership gap here in Las Vegas. And so today, I'm going to show you how to find and buy a home. 5 simple steps. The first step is to get pre-approved. The second step is working with an agent. The third step is to start searching and touring homes. The fourth step is to make an offer. And the final step is to close, protect, and celebrate. So let's dive in. The very first step, you want to get pre-approved, okay? Getting pre-qualified is not enough. You need to get pre-approved. And our partner, Home is Possible from the Nevada Housing Division, check this out. If you go to homeispossiblenevada.org, you'll be able to find certified lenders who are going to be able to help you gain access to these down payment assistance programs. And Mary First Financial is one of our partners, and they're here to help. We also want you to get pre-approved so that you can determine how much mortgage you actually qualify for, which really depends on a couple of things like down payment, like the down payment that you bring to the table, the loan to value ratio, the debt to income ratio, and the housing costs to income ratio. And these are all things that your lender is going to be able to help you navigate. And so once you've gotten pre-approved, the next step is to work with an agent. And so there are many benefits with working with an agent. The first thing I want you to know is that your agent and your lender won't accept payment from you up front. They're not going to get paid up front. They work for you essentially for free. They only get paid when you are successful in buying your home. And that's so important because their incentives are aligned with yours to make sure that you're successful. They won't get paid unless you're successful. And so that's one of the main benefits. And so they're experienced agents that are ready to help you work on the front lines. They have access to the MLS, so they can easily search homes for you. They have market knowledge about the buying process, and they'll help you handle the contracts and the offers. That's stuff that you don't necessarily want to do on your own. So the expert advice of an agent could be helpful. And here's another myth buster for you. You'd want representation for new construction, okay? We definitely recommend that you get an agent in the door with you to make sure that all of the due diligence in new construction is being done. And so how to find an agent? Again, you could find certified agents at homeispossiblenevada.org. I want to give a shout out to my friend Shantae Patton, who's a real estate agent. And of course, to the many Homey agents here in Las Vegas that are here to help you. We are all certified with Home is Possible so that we can help you get access to the many down payment assistance programs available. All right, now the fun stuff, y'all. Get ready to bring out your phone for this one. It's time to start searching and touring your home. And so check this out. You could start the process online. In fact, I recommend it because you can start looking for homes and really get the motivation going. And thanks to new technology, we can do 3D virtual tours. And so this is so cool. Fun fact, every home listed with Homey has a 3D virtual tour. And so you'll be able to search how the home looks on the inside. You can zoom in and check it out. When you're ready to check out the house, maybe in person, to see if it's the right fit, request a tour with your agent so you can start doing your due diligence. Now, I do want to point out that you could download the Homey app, or you could go to homey.com, and you could start searching homes there. In fact, you can create a free account, and when you create a free account at homey.com, you'll be able to start favoriting homes. You'll be able to start creating saved searches, so you get notified when new homes hit the market. And best of all, when you work with a Homey agent, you get up to $2,500 back at closing. And so go get started. It's free to get started at homey.com/buy, or you could also download the app on your Android or iPhone. Once you've found the home and your family is stoked to get in there, it's time to make an offer. Your agent is going to be able to help you make an official offer. You see, there's a lot of components that come into making an offer, including the property address, the offer price, the earnest money deposit, which is what you bring to make the offer, the down payment that you'll make, the financing terms, the expiration of the offer, and the list actually goes on. So we really recommend that you get connected to an agent who's going to help you navigate making official offers. Again, if you decide to work with a Homey agent, we are committed to making the process more affordable for you, and that's why when you work with a Homey agent, we will rebate up to $2,500 back to you at closing. Isn't that crazy? So get started at homey.com/buy. And y'all, when it's time, once you made the offer and the seller has accepted, it is time to close, protect, and celebrate. All right, we're gonna celebrate, but hey, don't forget to protect your home. We don't want your home to be lost. We want you to be able to retain it for many generations. And so this is something that we're here to help you with as well. Now, something I want to tell you about before I get off the stage here is I want to let you know one of our core values here at Homey is to have your back. Okay, we've got your back. We really mean that. And so after this master class, check your email. There's going to be a survey in there, and we're asking you all to reply to the survey. Let us know how we did. Let us know how we could do better. And anybody that enters the survey by tonight will be entered in to win a raffle tomorrow for a $500 Visa gift card. So check out that email. It's going to hit your inbox right after this class. And with that, thank you so much for the opportunity to speak with y'all. I'm going to bring Nia back on to do some more Jeopardy.
Elias, thank you for letting me have my part-time job as a game show hostess. So our next Jeopardy category, and don't forget guys, there are still lots of gifts to give away. We still have lots of prizes. We still have lots of questions. We all have covered a lot of information, but there are still so much details about the loan buying process. So we are gonna go with Family First for 300. Family First for 300. This is get up to $2,500 rebate at closing. Okay, let's see who was paying attention and who the fast typers are. April Taylor got it. April Taylor was paying attention, and she knows that what is buy with Homey to get $2,500 in rebates? Buy with Homey to get $2,500 in rebates. You have won a $20 Amazon gift card. Congratulations. So you heard from her earlier. We've gotten a lot of information. This lady wears many hats. She is our regional vice president of the Western chapter of NAREB, as well as a real estate agent here in Nevada. She has a home buying counseling, HUD counseling agency, and she can help you achieve your goal of home ownership by helping you as a real estate professional as well. So I'm gonna have Shantae come right back up.
Right. You made it. We're almost to the end, right? So we are good to go. Elias, could you grab my phone? All right, so you need to make your one-on-one housing counseling agency appointment. Get your free coaching. It's free to you. All this is paid by the state. Why not take advantage of what is here? We cannot stop the wage gap. We cannot stop the housing gap. We cannot stop any of these things unless we work together. That's why we are here, okay? So use the assistance. It's here. Let's just do it. Black home ownership rates right now at 42%. 42%. And if that doesn't sound weird to you, 42% is the exact number that it was prior to segregation. So even though we made stride, we lost it. And so it takes everyone to get us back to where we were and then to get us up to where we should be, okay? Even though our opponent had 400 times to go around the Monopoly board before we were even ever allowed the ability to play, does not stop us from getting our part of that money and that part of our wealth and our home ownership. We have to do it. This is how we build wealth. This is how we change our community. So get the housing counseling, okay? So enroll, makehomespossible.org/intake. Schedule your one-on-one counseling. That will start March 8th. And then be sure to go on and register for our 8-week Homebuyer series. So that's going to include 2-part credit building because we know that's such a big issue in our community. So we wanted to make sure that we focused on it significantly. And we will also bring in some of the conversations like our student loans. Some of our stats show us that student loans is a big hurdle. Our other stats show us that car payments is a huge hurdle. So if you wonder about our stats, I am the Regional Vice President of the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. We are a Black real estate organization founded in 1947 because at that time, Black real estate professionals could not be members of the National Association of Realtors. So we created our own association. And in doing that, we produce the State of Housing in Black America report every year. So if you want to see the numbers of where we get these stats and how we put this program together based on what we know on the numbers, then go to NAREB, NAREB.com, and look for the Sheba report, State of Housing in Black America. So we know what is needed for our Black community to get into the game of real estate and build wealth for our families. And that is through credit and real estate. So we're going to go through our credit building, part 1, part 2. We're going to talk about the difference between FICO, Credit Karma. We're going to get really in depth, show you how to fix your credit. Okay. Also, we'll go into finding a home, what that looks like from a seller's market. It can be tough. So we're going to teach you what you need to do and what it means. And then we're going to show you how to preserve your home. So whether that is with a will, you know, with an estate, whatever that looks like, we are going to show you how to do it. We're also going to show you if somehow something happens, life happens. If you get close to foreclosure, if you lose your job, we do not want you to lose your home. So a part of that is going to give you the resources that you can hold on to for when that time comes. Okay, so those are the 3 things that we want you to do. And now we will go into our Q&A. So if you have a question, this is the time right now to ask your question, and then we'll get you an answer for that. Okay, so we'll take a moment and let the questions be answered. Do you have any? So the question is, what is creating generational wealth? So we know that the best way to create generational wealth is to be able to pass down assets, right? And the way the Black community typically passes down assets is through home ownership. That's why we continue to say wealth building through home ownership. Because if you purchase a home for $200,000 today, and it's now $300,000, and it's $400,000 and $500,000, that is equity, and that is considered an asset. So then when you pass away, you can pass that on to your children and create generational wealth. That's how it's created, and that's the goal. We build our wealth in our community through home ownership. Next question.
Can we also qualify for a new home build purchase?
Yes. So these programs work. Whether you want to buy new construction or you want to buy a resale, you can still use these programs. So absolutely. Next question.
Disabled?
Any programs for the disabled? Not specifically, but
As income, so if you are able to use that income to qualify for a mortgage.
Okay, so there's no program specifically for disabled people. However, you will be able to qualify for a loan using the income from your disability check.
Any programs for healthcare workers?
Any programs for healthcare workers? Okay, so yes, there is programs for healthcare workers. Go into makeHomesPossible.com/resources, and a housing counselor will be able to tell you about those programs as well.
Can any of these loan assistance programs be used in conjunction?
What's the question?
So yes, there are some of the programs that you can build on top of each other. And your housing counselor will be able to go over which programs can be layered on top of each other, but there are some of them that can be.
Can unemployment be used as income to buy a house?
So it cannot. It cannot be used as income to purchase a house, unfortunately.
All right. How can I get a loan for a new home even if I have an FHA loan?
What's the question, Ellen?
How can I get a loan for a new home even if I have an FHA loan?
So the question is, how can I get a loan for a new home even if I have a current FHA loan?
On what they're going to do with the older home, and they can qualify for the new, and if they can qualify the new home for the new home conventionally.
Okay, so it depends on what you plan to do with your current home. Okay, so if you have an FHA right now and then the next property you plan to sell that one and get a new one, then you can do something like that. Otherwise, you need to have a plan on what you plan to do with that home that you have FHA, and potentially you can get a conventional loan on the next one.
Do you recommend buying a new home?
Do I recommend buying a new home? Well, that's a good question, so let me give you a good answer, okay? Typically, a new home is really good if you want it to look like you just bought an HGTV home. However, with a new home comes the cost. You're buying all of the labor is right now. You could buy granite from Lowe's for $5,000, but the builder will charge you $10,000, right? So there's a cost difference between it. On the resale property, you're buying it at a discount because it's not new. But on a new construction, you're buying it brand new. And so some of the issues that you will have with a new home, one is appraisal. The new home purchases are dependent on appraisal as well. But the problem that you have is if you decide you want $50,000 worth of upgrades to make it look just like the model, you have to come in with that extra money. On a resale home, it might already have $50,000 worth of upgrades and it's built into the price. So if you find this new home and you love the $10,000 floors, depending on the builder, you either have to pay upfront, meaning right when you decide those are the floors that you want, you need to pay the $10,000 upfront, or some builders will allow you to roll in 50%. But the problem is now, if you're doing down payment assistance or something, you probably don't have $5,000 to give them at that very moment. And so a new home is great, but it requires you to have the funds to bring in to cover the things you want to put into the home. So you can definitely buy it, but it's not very friendly to people who do not have a lot of assets to put down on the home immediately.
Okay. Can I still buy a house if I'm making payments to the IRS?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Can I still buy a house if I'm making payments to the IRS?
Yes, you can still buy a house if you're making payments to the IRS. We include that payment when we calculate the amount of debt you have to the income that you earn.
So if you did not hear Lisa Foster, you can have an IRS payment. It's included in the debt so that you would need to qualify with your normal bills as well as the payment for the IRS. Oh, perfect. Why you got me? Look, girl, it's all right. Okay, so Lisa, if you're asking questions on that, who you hear is Lisa Foster. Ella?
Hey, I am in the process of being pre-approved with Wells Fargo and already have my HUD certificate. Is it too late to ask the lender about the HIP program?
Absolutely not. Nope.
No, it's not too late for you to ask your lender to utilize that program. Absolutely not. And if your lender gives you any pushback, remember your lender actually works for you. If your lender is not part of your team and cooperating, then you may want to look at that relationship and identify a lender who will.
Not all lenders like to do the program, but it is your right to do it if you can qualify for it. Questions?
Could I use the down payment assistance program to buy a multi-unit property with an FHA loan?
Yes. Many of the down payment assistance programs, a few of them do allow you to purchase a multi-unit using an FHA loan. Just remember that anytime you talk about FHA, you have to own or occupy one of the units. Up to 4 units. You can go 1 to 4. That's what's considered residential.
So single family home is considered 1 to 4 units. If you go over 4 units, it's no longer a single family home. So you can buy it with FHA with down payment assistance. You just need to occupy 1 of the 4 units.
Okay. Thank you. How can student loans affect your mortgage application if that is the only outstanding debt you have?
So that is a fantastic question.
Yes, it is.
So with student loans, there's a couple of rules, and it really depends on the type of loan that you get. If you get a government loan, an FHA loan, then typically what will happen is we will have to count 1% of those loan balances against you. So if you have $100,000 in student loans, we are going to count a $1,000 payment in your debt to income ratio. Whether they're deferred, whether they're forbearance, whether you're in school, government, FHA, it does not matter. It's 1% of the balance. If you have a conventional loan, we've got a lot more latitude because we're able to use your income-based repayment plan to actually qualify you. So student loans do impact you, and we're well aware that student loans are a barrier to entry for minorities.
Yep. Absolutely. Next question, Ella.
Thank you. So if we were laid off during the pandemic and hired back at the same job, does that still mean I qualify for the programs?
Yes. You have a gap of employment, as long as it's going to depend how long you were off and how long you've been back. But yes, you would have a gap in employment that we would simply need to explain.
Great. Do you have to use certain lenders?
Most programs do have a list of approved lenders, and the reason that they have approved lenders is because those lenders are most familiar with their programs, how to utilize them, what the rules are to ensure that the loan is done compliantly.
Okay.
You can find a list of Home is Possible approved lenders on our website. There's
Same
over
for-
100 here in Nevada.
Same for Nevada Partners. If you are looking for participating lender or realtors, you can find that on our website. The next question, can you buy a home that needs to be rehabbed?
You can.
You can buy a home that needs to be rehabbed. There's government programs, a 203K. There's also a conventional home style program. Both of those programs allow you to get the money to buy the home and the money to fix the home up in one loan.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it true to use Homey you have to pay $2,500 fee?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Is it true that to use Homey you need to pay a $2,500 fee?
No, it's actually the opposite. If you use Homey, you get a credit for $2,500. It's a bonus that you get with Homey. You do not pay, you get extra money.
Awesome, thank you. What about the match savings program? Wish?
So the match savings program, I believe you're referring to IDEA.
IDA?
IDA. So IDA is a match savings program. Currently, we do not have a lender in town or a bank in town that is participating today in the IDA program.
Okay.
Oh, what are you referring to? Wish?
I believe they're talking about Wish. That's the
Okay,
one.
you take that one.
All right. So the Wish program, it is a matching program. So depending on how much you come in with, for example, if you bring in 1,000, the program can match you 4,000. That's a brief explanation, but it is a matching program. The next question: I've been at my job for 19 years. How can I qualify if I haven't worked a full shift since March?
We would average the income for your employment and utilize that to qualify you. Hopefully as we recover, you'll get back to full-time status. But if they go to where they guarantee you 40 hours a week because business is picking up, we would be able to use that income.
Okay. Next question. Wondering if the assistance that is given for the down payment and closing costs is required to be paid back, or can we keep it?
Depends on the program.
The program depends on the program. For Home is Possible, for example, the down payment assistance does not need to be repaid if you stay in the house without selling or refinancing for 3 years.
All right.
Pause real quick, please. I feel that if you want to speak, you guys can start interchanging
Let's do that.
because, yeah.
Since they all are looking over here.
So whoever would like to answer the question, just pause and you guys can step up there.
Perfect.
Okay, so just once again, does the assistance need to be repaid? It does depend on the down payment assistance you receive, and how long you stay in the home. So for some programs, it stays for the life of the loan, but for some programs, we only require that you pay back if you sell, refinance, or otherwise transfer the property within 3 years. The assistance you received is prorated, so you never would pay back the entire amount. Slowly, we forgive a certain amount each month you stay in the home.
Okay, thank you. Do you qualify for any other programs if you are under contract and have already been approved for a conventional loan?
Yes, you just want to make sure that if you're under contract and it's a much simpler process if the lender that you're working with is already a participating lender in the program. You could still qualify. You would just, in some cases, have to switch lenders if the lender is not participating in any of the down payment assistance programs.
Okay, this one's not a question. She's just looking for some advice. If I already started the process but still not sure about the process and how the assistance amounts work, also confusing, what should I do?
So you should be working with a lender that you trust. A good lender will give you an apples to apples comparison of using the program and the down payment assistance you receive, how much you would have to bring into the process compared to not using down payment assistance. Did you want to add anything, Lisa? Okay.
Okay.
If you've already started the process and you've committed and you're working with a lender, that you always want to make sure you have a trusted advisor. This is the biggest purchase you will probably ever make in your life. It is not something that you take lightly, and it's not something that you have to commit to the first person you call that you inquire about a loan. If the person takes a long time to return your phone calls initially, then they're going to take a long time to return your phone calls during the process. And if that's not something that you feel comfortable with, you want to think about that when you're searching for a lender.
Great. If I have a gap in my job history, do I need to start over with 2 years of verifiable job history?
No. Ms. Lisa Foster went over this a little bit. We do need, if you have a gap in your employment history, that may be something that you can use to explain to the lender. But you would want to work with a lender. Just because you've had a gap, you don't have to wait a full 2 years and have a solid 2 years of working history again.
Great, thank you. The next question is a question that we get pretty often during the homebuyers education classes, and I'm pretty sure you're familiar with this one. What's the difference between an FHA loan and a conventional loan?
I'll let Ms. Lisa Foster take over.
Love it, guys. Keep the questions coming.
Hey guys, long time no see. All right, I am going to try to give this to you as quickly, as efficiently as possible. FHA is a government-backed loan. What that means is that it is a more forgiving loan. There are things that FHA allows that conventional does not. FHA stands for Federal Housing Authority. Okay. FHA has what's called mortgage insurance premium, which is called MIP. That MIP is charged up front, it's financed into your loan, and it's also charged monthly. And for 89% of the cases, it's for the life of the loan. There are a few exceptions, but primarily for the life of the loan. FHA is much more forgiving. It allows you to get financing 2 years outside of a Chapter 7. You can be in a Chapter 13 and purchase a home after 1 year of making your trustee payments on time with the court permission. It allows expanded ratios, so it allows you to owe a little bit more in your debt-to-income ratio. Conventional is more extringent. What that means is we're looking back more. With FHA, we're looking back pretty 12 to 24 months. With conventional, we're really looking back 24 to 48 months. So your waiting period for a foreclosure is 7 years if you've had a previous foreclosure. Your waiting time for a bankruptcy is 4 years. So you can see the credit requirement is greater. The credit score requirement is also a little bit higher. Whereas FHA, we can go down to 580. Conventional, we can't go below 620. The largest difference is if you put down 20% on a conventional loan, you do not have any private mortgage insurance. Private mortgage insurance and mortgage insurance premium, they really don't do anything for you as a consumer. It is primarily to protect the lender and the institution in the event that you foreclose on a property or fall behind in your payments. With a conventional loan, you are judged based on your credit score and your debt-to-income ratio, and that that private mortgage insurance is calculated based on your individual numbers. On FHA, everybody is treated the same. Whether you have a 580 FICO score, whether you have a 820 FICO score, the mortgage insurance premium and the upfront premium are all the same. So those are just kind of some of the biggest differences. Government rates always tend to be a little bit less than conventional rates as well. So your FHA rates always tend to be a little bit better than your conventional rates. I hope that answers your questions.
Yes. Can you use Social Security income to qualify?
You absolutely can use Social Security income. You can use child support. You can use all forms of non-taxable income.
Thank you. The next question is for the HIP program. HIP for teachers, does it not help pre-K teachers?
Unfortunately, HIP for teachers is for kindergarten through 12th grade, classroom, full-time, licensed teachers only. It has to be for a Nevada public or public charter school, so not private schools, but any charter school that is registered on the State Public Charter School Department of Education website.
Thank you. Next question. Let's just say, for example, you start a new job / career this year. However, you want to purchase a home. Do you still need to wait 2 years to show steady income in order to get pre-approved for a home loan?
So I'm not going to make Miss Lisa Foster get up again, but absolutely not. As she mentioned or lectured to us previously, you are not penalized for elevating in life. So if you had a job that made a certain amount of money and now you have improved, you went to school, you got some certifications and you have a different career, you don't have to wait 2 years in that career as long as you have been working in the past. Is that right, Lisa? I think we're going to play Jeopardy, too. Are we? Yeah, let's get some Jeopardy questions going while we get questions going. Okay. So we're almost done with the board. I hope you're still here with us because we've still got some really good prizes left. Show me the money for 500. Show me the money for 500. I'll give you guys a few minutes to get this one in. It is down payment assistance requirements. Down payment assistance requirements. And just a note, guys, if you had some questions and you didn't get answered, we anticipated that, which is why we have some follow-up master classes coming where we really get into the nitty-gritty on credit, on down payment assistance, on your lending. So you want to just make sure that you keep with us, make sure you're following along on the website. Michael Daniels. Michael Daniels had the correct answer or the correct question, and it is, what is a home buyer certificate? Minimum 640 credit, income limits that apply for down payment assistance requirements. Those are the basic down payment assistance requirements for just about every down payment assistance in the state. You have won a Fire Stick. Woohoo! Congratulations. We're going to get with one more Jeopardy. What is the right loan for 500, finishing up the board? How to enroll for housing counseling. How to enroll for housing counseling. Who remembers this one? And once again, if you had questions about down payment assistance, I believe on the Makes Home Possible website, we have all of our contact information. We're very receptive to emails. If you feel like you just can't wait till March 13th for the next session, we'll be happy to answer any questions you have. It is, the winner? Andre Dixon got it, and it was go to makehomepossible.org intake. Once again, go to makehomepossible.org intake. That is where you're going to go to see the next steps, where you can go to enroll in the next master class. And then we also have links on makehomepossible.org for all of the housing counseling agencies that were here today and the information that they provide and contact information. You have won a flat screen TV. That was worth the wait. All right. Okay, so make sure you check your email. Make sure that you're completing the survey to enter to win a chance for $500. Again, there's still one more giveaway. If you are just not quick typer and you knew all the answers, but you couldn't get it in there, this is where you get ahead. You go in, you complete the survey, and you win a chance to get $500, not a TV, not a gift card, just a $500 to spend how you want it. And if you're smart, let's figure out a way to flip that gift card into saving some money for our down payment. All right? Thank you so much for attending. Thank you for, what's next? Enroll at makehomespossible.org for intake. Schedule one-on-one counseling starting March 8th. Once again, March 8th is when we will begin accepting one-on-one counseling invitations, and then also get involved in our 8-week home buyer series. If you like this information, but it still leaves you with some questions and wanting to know some more information, then that was exactly how this was designed. We wanted to tell you a good high-level overview of all of the information and that we have to offer, but then we want to get in depth with maybe some smaller, some one-on-one questions in a setting so that we can be able to walk you through credit building, 2-part series, finding a home, and preserving your home. I don't know if we've stressed this enough, but we want to obtain the home, we want to close the wealth gap, but we also want to help you sustain home ownership. It's a long process. We want to help you get into a house. We want to hold your hand and walk with you, and we want to make sure that you know all the things you need to know and that you're equipped to stay in that home and build equity. Thank you, guys. I'm going to have Elias come up and close us out.
Thank you all so much for attending today. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to Lisa and Shante and Nia and all of our partners. And a huge thank you to our sponsors, Homey, for making all of this possible. We hope to make home ownership possible for you. So please sign up for the one-on-one counseling so we can get your back. Thank you all so much. See you next time.